Just make sure. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm gonna keep it open.
We got.
I don't think I can do it.
Christina ain't changed her name. Let's see. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, my smart people, my smart guys, and my little smart girls? Got Christina in the house, who ain't changed the name yet, but we see what it is, I'm your boy, smart guy, Bigg Q, and I'm joined by my partner in crime.
Looking fresh to death with a new quality.
Yeah, look, yeah,
Keyan X.
QHD, Quad HD, FHD, UHD. Look at it.
All of it.
Okay.
Tell them.
What's good with you, man? What's going on?
Joe, it's been a good week. It's been a very good week.
Yeah.
Business wise, it has been very good for me. And me and my lady are doing good, man. That's all I can really ask for.
Congratulations to you and the lady. Speaking of you and the lady, me and mine, we just celebrated 13 years of blissful marriage yesterday. Yesterday was my 13th anniversary. Yeah, give it up for her, for her not killing me yet. Me still being able to stay alive throughout this whole thing.
Hey, man.
Okay, Christina, she has updated. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Where's the breaking news? Hold on, I got to break news down. Where's it at? Where's it at? Here we go. Here you go. Oh, y'all can hear. Anyway, Christina Cooper has updated her name to Christina Johnson in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Christina. Welcome back. How was the honeymoon and everything? I mean, pretty sure you're thoroughly worn out, right?
I'm somewhat upset that I can't call you Coop no more, but it is what it is.
Right? She's like she's still working on changing the name and everything. I know, that's the thing that women have to go through when they get married, which is a little weird. But I felt like it should be like a rite of passage. I never really heard women complain about it a lot. They always kind of act like when they come in and buy stuff from you, they have the driver's license and still got their old name on it or whatever. They were like, oh, I'm still working on changing my name on stuff, But they say it like they're complaining about it, but they're really kind of happy to be saying that. You know what I'm saying, right?
I mean, I think new generation are doing away with those old ways.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of hyphenations and a lot of people just straight up just leaving the name the way it was, right? You know what I mean? But I'm glad she's being traditional about it. She wouldn't took on my man's name, and that's a good thing. Well, glad to have you back, Christina. You didn't really miss much last week with just Keyan being the clown like he always is, and that kind of thing. You didn't really miss that. I'm pretty sure your week went a little bit better than ours did. Anyway, Keyan, so you say business been good, right? Everything's been great?
Business has been good. My life is going well.
Nice.
I can't complain. I got wine in my hands.
Yeah.
I know the chat was kind of live last week, actually.
The chat was live last week. They were. Yeah, they were. Even though
if you're in the chat now, go ahead and pour you up wine, get ready. Get your popcorn ready.
Absolutely. So, I had some runs into some pretty good news, with some things that I was excited about. Me and in my journey through the Samsung world. 2 days ago, I think the US approved that Samsung switched on finally one of the features that they had been promising for like the last year and a half on their wearables, the blood pressure monitor. They just switched that on, got FDA approval 2 days ago in the US. It's been approved in like Korea and other countries all this time, but on the Galaxy Watch 3 and Galaxy Watch Active 2, blood pressure monitoring has been so it's a go now, which is beautiful. And in the other little bit of news that I heard is twofold when it comes to Samsung wearables. The rumor mill is saying that Samsung is getting ready. They're prepping a Galaxy Watch 4 with Wear OS in mind. You know what I mean? So like I don't know if they're ditching Tizen. I think this is like gonna be a special edition type of watch. And you got to think about it, Keyan. Why would Samsung be messing with Wear OS? It got to be something special they're cooking up for a one-time, one-off type situation. What you think about it?
I mean, it might not be a one-off. It might be maybe they want to get something from Google, but I don't. My last Wear OS watch. They're not great. I'm sorry. They're not great.
You know, they're like I like having not having to charge my watch but like once a week. I kind of like that. You know what I mean? But having to go back to put my watch on the charger every day would be a little bit weird. But other than that, I didn't really have no complaints with Wear OS. I think my last one was I only had 2 in my life. I had the original Moto and the Moto 2. Those are the 2 that I had. I know you had like the LG one and a couple of other ones, but I think the apps worked okay. I mean, the selection wasn't deep. You know what I mean?
I guess it's because I dabble in last time I had the Apple a Wear watch, I was still dabbling in 2 different ecosystems and trying to get everything that I can. Yeah. Now just Apple, so everything syncs together. So maybe if I was hardcore into Google instead of dabbling, maybe it'd be a little. I haven't heard a great thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like right now it's been Cores, Michael Kors. It's been Fossil. I think they're the same company. And who's it's like 2 other ones. It's like there's only a few major players that are still kind of really rocking the Wear OS. I know LG ain't made a watch in a while. Asus ain't made a watch. I don't know if the Zen not haven't made a watch in a while either.
Yeah, like the TicWatch series that Jeffrey's talking about. I know that I've heard a lot about them. I thought there was another brand.
Yeah, my brother has a TicWatch 3. He absolutely loves it. He thinks it's amazing. But this is his first smartwatch, so he ain't really got nothing to compare it against. But yeah, my brother got a TicWatch 3. He like it. Yeah, he says it's dope. So it's there's that, right? So Keyan, I had like only 2 things I wanted to talk about this week. I don't know if you had a story that you wanted to bring up, but I just want to give prep the audience real quick what they in for tonight.
What's it?
One of the things I wanted to discuss with you is this emerging. Is it a technology or is it a crypto? I don't know. We'll talk about it. We're talking about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, right? A lot of cool stuff going on with that. We're going to dive into that. We'll talk about that. That's new stuff. You know me, I like new stuff. I think it's great, right? And the big discussion I want to have later on is, I think maybe we touched on it back in the past or whatever, but I had a conversation again with some people at work, and we was talking about some stuff, and that whole thing of where people place value on certain pieces of technology kind of got my mind spinning a little bit. It goes back to that conversation that we used to have back in the day, where I think we talked about it here on the show just a couple weeks ago, where the person that would say, well, hell, if you're gonna spend that much money on that, then you might as well buy that, right? Like, so we're gonna get into that conversation, right? It's like where we put value on certain things. And so on and so forth, right? So that's what I got. You had anything you wanted to add to before we get into it?
Oh, we got to see how much time we got for that.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, cool. So let's look at this. Talk about these NFTs, man. So I don't know if you guys like this crypto stuff. I'm still. I really don't know what's going on. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. All I know is I remember Bitcoin in the beginning a few years back. Then I heard Litecoin, and then Doge. But now we're talking about these the one that like the coin stuff. I know it's a different type of thing because it's actually currency. This NFT thing is like almost like digital art type. Like, so for example, some of the stuff that I looked up when I wanted to talk about this was like Neon Cat, Neon, the little rainbow graphic little cat thing. They sold it. They selling it as a non-fungible token. So like you would own the digital rights to that. The Wu-Tang Clan album that was floating around a couple of years ago. That was worth all those millions and millions of dollars. Now it's a digital thing that was the only copy available ever. There's the Kings of Leon just released their first full length official new album as an release it in their future, either next week or the week after, something like that. But it's coming out, right? So, and they're not the only ones doing this. There's other people doing it too. And then the one that really got my, and I really wanted to talk to you about, Keyan, was because he's in the news. What's his name? The Twitter guy. What's his name?
Dorsey.
Dorsey, yeah. The only reason why his name came up with me because I know he just inked a deal with Jay-Z for Tidal. Remember we talked about Tidal a couple of years ago? So his name comes up, and I see that he's trying to sell his original tweet from way back in the day as an NFT, right? And right now, as of last week, as of Saturday morning, the highest offer for Dorsey's tweet was $2 million. For you to have ownership of Jack Dorsey's original tweet. I can't. What you think about this, man?
So I'm a photographer. I do a lot of art stuff. And in the communities, they've been talking about NFTs a lot. People creating content just to sell it as an NFT, which is cool. I guess it's this new age of making everything decentralized, making everything not owned by the government, not controlled by the government, and trying to profit off of it. Of course, you want to be in on the ground floor, right, make your money or be known. I mean, it's confusing for a lot of the. I guess just general people out there. A lot of people probably just haven't even heard of it yet. And then if you don't understand like Bitcoin and how altcoins work, then NFT is probably not going to make it. It's not going to be any easy for you. Right. But basically, it's just like you said. It's a token that says you have this one thing, and no matter what, no matter if somebody tries to copy it or if you trade it or whatever, you still have the original, that one thing can copy it. Nobody can say, oh, I've got the original, because it all has like serial numbers and things like that. So, I mean, just for authenticity, it's cool. Like people have been selling trading cards and pictures and stuff and making it so that they have the only ones.
Right. So, Keyan, here's my question though. Since you got a little bit more of a grip on this. Like, I'm thinking about the tweet. I'm gonna use this tweet for an example, right? So right now, you can go on Twitter and you can find this tweet and you can look at this tweet all you want to. You can look at it, you can screenshot it, you can copy it, you can print it, you can do whatever you want to with it, right? So what's the
you don't have the original. But you don't have the original.
What is an original tweet? Like, what is it?
I can say this tweet is mine. I can say you can't use this tweet without paying me.
Wow.
Like, this is my thing. And so I haven't seen it, so I haven't dove into it yet with technology like this. Yes. I don't see the point in owning a tweet because people don't. I mean, unless you like advertising or something. Because for art, you sell art and you make money off of art. Right. For like music, sell music, advertise music. If you have music playing like a commercial, somebody has to pay you. So I guess it's the same thing. If anybody wants to show off this tweet publicly and make money from it, you still get money from it. So now, but who's doing that?
So I don't know what you're gonna do with the tweet. I mean, apparently this tweet been sitting around collecting dust. When was Twitter created? What was it,
2006? This is a 15-year-old tweet.
Right. So, I mean, and millions of people have seen it already. So, I don't know what's going on. But look at the artists, though. I'm talking about the music artists like Kings of Leon and some of the actual artists like Banksy. Banksy is doing some stuff. And there was this one guy, I forget what his name was, but he had a 50-second clip of some graphics or whatever. He got like a $11 million sale off his NFT of this graphic. My thing is, okay, you create this art and make it as entertaining. Let's start with the music, right? Because the first thing that popped into my mind is like what I did when Napster and LimeWire and stuff came out. You know what I mean? Like, so the music comes out and one person gets it and puts it on the digital platform, right? So now it's digital. It can be copied millions of times. Like,
it's not the original.
Who cares?
It's like let's say it's like if I gave you like a baseball card and somebody's like, "Oh, I got the same baseball card," and they show you, and it doesn't have like the little seal stamp in the bottom corner. You'd be like, "That's fake."
But see,
so it's not worth nothing.
I guess that's why I never really got into collecting cards or memorabilia, because I get certain things that are unique, like tweet or Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. Wu-Tang Clan album or whatever. Those things, it's only one of those things in existence, right? Kings of Leon's album, they're selling it to a certain set amount of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so they're selling 100 copies. Let's say 100. I don't know how many they're selling, but let's say they sell 100 copies.
Right.
Only 100 people will have that. Kings of Leon is not going to put it up on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. If they do, they can. It's streaming is not. It's not like it's like if you own the CD. So those 100 people own the digital CD. Yeah. Nobody else will own it. They can copy it, but it's still not the original CD. Now, for me, I don't really care because for me, it's more about the experience. The music, I don't care if I own the music. So it's just like it's just different. Like some people want to own things. I just want to experience things. So I don't know how you feel about the situation either.
Well, see, that's the thing I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out, like, if I really care about having the original. If it's something like a Kings of Leon album, right? Do I really care about it being the original? Now, the Jack Dorsey.
But say if it's an Outkast album. Say if it's like Stankonia. Yeah. You can have the original Stankonia. Like, you own it.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm kind of confused about, right? So it's an original copy, right? Copy.
No, it's the original.
Okay,
so like let's say if I made the album, once I sell my 100 copies, I delete it off my computer. Like I don't have it.
Okay,
right. You have the thing.
Yeah. So now, if it was in a situation like the Wu-Tang thing, right, where the copy that I just bought for X amount of dollars is the only one in existence, I can see the justification. But if it's just a permanent copy, number one. Or whatever, but everybody else got it too. Like it loses value to me. I don't know. I don't see that. I don't really get it.
I mean, like if you're not into collectibles, like I used to be in the collectibles, but I still never cared about having like the shiny off color ones, or as long as I got one of them, it's good enough for me. So I don't know if we're the right people to really judge it, just because we're not. I don't know, owners or collectibles.
No, as far as like stuff like Banksy and the other two guys who was doing the actual like the street art or whatever, I get that, right? So if you were one of the kind of people who got that kind of money to own an original Banksy piece that nobody else in the world has, and it's hanging up in your house or on your iPad, I don't know how you would actually access it. I don't know, but but you own that. That's a little bit different. You feel me? Because like nobody else has that. And
then I just thought like generational stuff. So it's like how you like pass down a painting and every generation it gets like more and more worth more.
Right.
Definitely for 2 generations in the future that it's going to be all digital. Yeah. Everything they own is going to be NFTs. So it's just like, I have the original Banksy piece from 2020 and it's 26 now and it's worth 7,000 Bitcoin. Like it's going to be a whole different world.
It is so crazy because like. That's the way the value is being placed on. It's being placed like you can't buy it for actual dollars. You got to buy it for crypto, right? And that's the way you move it around. You move it around through the crypto, right? And that part, I'm still like it's like my brain is like I can't wrap my mind around it. Because actually, $1 Bitcoin dollar is not the same as like $1 US dollar, right? It's completely like it's different.
No. $1 Bitcoin dollar is $1. 1 Bitcoin is worth like I think $51,000 if you own a whole.
So you're saying that's what I meant. Like 1 Bitcoin is not like $1.
Yeah, 1 Bitcoin is like 51,000. But it's just like a Bitcoin. Its price varies.
It fluctuates.
So like no matter what, no matter if it's Monday or Friday or December or January, if I walk around with $1, it's $1. If I walk around with a Bitcoin, Monday it may be $1,000, Tuesday it may be $10,000, Friday it may be $50,000. It just depends.
Which makes this whole NFT thing even more confusing to me, I guess, because you selling me the NFT of like my wedding or something. Maybe you shot my wedding or something, right? And you sold it as an NFT, right? And and I buy it at this amount of Bitcoin on this day, right? Mm-hmm. And then, 2 days later, I don't know why my wedding pictures NFT would go up in value, but let's just say it did, right? Maybe the next day I invented a new element or something that made me famous. I don't know. Whatever.
But I feel like the NFT is still value-wise not. So you wouldn't. I would sell your wedding for $100,000.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of that, a whole Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoins, $100.
Okay.
Now, for me as a seller, if I got your Bitcoin now, I may go up in price. So it's kind of like it's more valuable for the seller than the buyer at that point.
So going forward, let's say this takes off, right? And we see the popularity kind of increase. Because you say in your community with photographers or whatever, y'all talk about this a lot, right?
Oh yeah, it's hot right now.
So how do you do you sell your normal stuff and then you say, hey, I do NFTs too, right? Or is that like saying that that's an extra special thing that I can do for you? Or
so what a lot of people I've seen are doing they're creating content specifically for NFTs. So they're like, let's say I shoot, I don't know, portraits all day, and I'm just gonna shoot portraits all day, and I'll sell it for $1,000 or whatever. But one time, I'm just gonna do like the best portrait I've ever done in my life, and I'm only doing that for NFT. And then I'll go back. That's how they're doing it. They're doing their regular day jobs, but certain things they're gonna just do special. Right. They do the best thing they ever could because it could be worth. Oh God, the most.
Okay.
I went down the wrong button.
Which I kind of like it because the thing that we've been kind of dealing with our memories now is the formats have changed through the years, right? From the old photographs to and then as things kind of get older, it's kind of hard to enjoy old things because you got to be super careful with them. You got to look at them through film. And somebody said something in the comments earlier about comic books or whatever. You know what I mean? It was Christina. She said the only thing I really care about for that kind of stuff is comic book stuff. So like. But with NFTs though, I mean, that's pretty much all. That's going to stand the test of time for the foreseeable future, right? I mean, at least from what we can tell. Like, I mean, I can't really see fire being able to hurt it, or you losing it in the ocean, or I can't see nothing like that happening, right? So.
But the funniest thing to me is, so with crypto, you have to keep it in the digital wallet. Yeah. So you have to have a username and a password for it. Right. One of the worst things that happen to people with crypto is they forget their password. Yeah. And due to like the security and stuff, if you forget your password, like it's gone.
Didn't something like that happen recently? Didn't something like this just happen a little while ago?
I mean, it happens all the time, but like the one popular story, this guy had, I think he was like $800,000 in crypto, and he forgot the password, and you can only try to guess it 10 times or it will destroy itself. So he had already guessed it like 8 times. Yes. So it's just like, I can see that happening with NFTs. Like, people are just going to forget their information, and then the stuff that they bought is going to be gone.
Can you imagine the dude that's sitting on that Jack Dorsey tweet, and then he forget the or maybe he just passed it down like 2 generations, and maybe like the great grandson is wanting to access it or whatever, but no, like the password's been lost 2 generations or whatever. Like, and you only got 10 chances to do it, right? Like the guy that Christina's talking about, like I think he's like was on attempt number 6 or 7 or something like that.
He's on 8. He's on 8.
Oh my God, that is crazy. And then like. Has anybody been able to undo crypto security? Like, have they been able to kind of like backdoor it? Oh my God!
Nope. the way crypto is made so that you can't infiltrate it, you can't hack it, and if you mess it up, like you're done. Like you're done.
It's nuts, man. That's crazy.
Like I said, like the guy had, it was somewhere between like $800,000 and $1 million that he just couldn't do anything.
That's
and he like. You can see it, but you can't touch it. You can't use it.
And you can pull it up and look at it and be like, "Damn!" Oh my God, that's got to be like the most maddening thing like ever to deal with. Like you got this thing, or in this case, money, which it would drive me insane. It would drive me crazy. I've heard stories of people saying like, "Oh, I bought 100, Bitcoin, like 100 full Bitcoins back in 2010 when it was worth nothing, and then it just forgot the password or." They lost that account or whatever, they're just like, oh, it just, I forgot where I put it basically. And now it's grown so much over the years that you just, like, I couldn't. It's completely insane, man. Like, I couldn't do it. But that's why, like, that's one of the things, and I know because I deal with this, it is on a very small scale the way I deal with it at work. Like, the biggest thing that I deal with at work is people in their accounts and their account information, right? And whatever, more and more of the world going, now we're talking about your art and your media going digital, on a crazy scale. I ain't talking about like backing it up to no iTunes library. I'm talking about cryptocurrency. Like that's a completely different thing. You know what I mean? Like, and these people can't even. I see the same customers every month because they can't get into their iTunes library or they forget how to. Oh my God! And
I see it all the time. Yeah. I see it all the time, every day.
And I refuse to do like don't you dare ask me about no Facebook account. I will turn you away very quickly because I ain't touching it, right? Don't even.
Looks like Fletch said the guy with the $1 million. He said he's on attempt 9. He got one more time.
You know, it's a bullet going to the brain after that, right? You know, that's what's happening next, right? You know,
I could like.
You know, that's what's happening next.
Oh man! And you gotta wonder if this is a guy with like millions of dollars already, and it's nothing to him, or if this is the guy who like moved his $600 stimulus check and just got Bitcoin just blew up, and then he can't do it. So
I don't know if see, I think it would be worse. I think if it was just a little bit of money that I put away when I was a kid, but I'm still sitting on I'm worth $50 million. Look, it's okay. I would still want it, but it ain't that big of a deal. But if everything I got is in that, and that's all I really got, and I'm I gotta call somebody. I don't know. What do you do?
I know people who put their life savings, like when the GameStop thing was happening. I know people who use like part of their life savings on that. And I'm just like, yo, you guys are wild.
That is crazy.
Wild.
That is nuts, man. I mean, because it's so tempting, especially like when you see other people kind of cashing in on it, right? You know what I mean? Like these dudes but these dudes know what they're doing. They know how to move, right? You know, and it ain't for everybody, because if it was for everybody would be doing it, right?
Everybody be rich. It was for everybody.
So there's got to be a loser somewhere, right? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm so reluctant. Like this one dude that I talk to at work all the time, his name is Dom. He's a young guy, man, and he's pretty sharp when it comes to this kind of stuff. And he carrying around like a tablet and a phone. He's like constantly watching these things move around. And I can't do it. I think my nerves would just. I don't know. I don't think I'm built for it. I don't think.
So like I'm investing in stocks. I've got my own like crypto that I'm invested in.
Yeah.
I haven't jumped on the NFT bandwagon just yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see myself, getting into it, but it's not yet for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. But it looked like that's kind of where it's going. When with people like Kings Leon, the stuff thing with Jack Dorsey, the stuff with Wu-Tang, the Neon Cat thing. It's been a couple other ones, the Banksy stuff. So some people are doing it. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be something to think about. I don't know if it's right now it's just in that collector phase, and then maybe it comes down to that's just kind of the way things are being sold. Because it kind of throws me back to that whole Jay-Z Samsung thing from a couple years back. You remember this? Jay-Z decided to put his album only on Samsung phones. It was like the S5.
Oh yeah, like the $5 million deal.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, you could only access that album through a Samsung phone. In the beginning, of course, they ripped it. They kind of broke it down.
I was about to say that lasted a day.
Right.
That lasted a day.
Right. But just the thought of that though, right? Like how far forward thinking those guys were thinking. Like you know what? Let's just digitize the album and only put it on phones, and not every phone, just these phones. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It worked out for Jay-Z. He won't walk away with the bag, not Samsung. You know what I mean?
He's just like, yo, I got this money. I'm good. Yeah. So wait, you're not trying to get on the ground floor with this thing? Then you're just like, you got to wait to see if it's stable and how it moves first?
Because honestly, like just being a collector, a collector's thing, that doesn't pique my intuition. Like, I got to see where it could have another like a benefit or a something that kind of changes the way we do things going forward. Not just to sit on things, like just sitting on stuff. That ain't really my my style. You know what I mean? Like,
you ain't got no stock? You don't have stock?
I ain't got no stock, man. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, that's why I don't think I'm built for it, bro. Just being able to sit on stuff and play the waiting game and watch values rise. The only thing that I got going on in my life like that is my house, right? I do watch the values on that, but that's about it. That's about it, right? But as far as I don't know. I just don't think I'm built for it.
I'm gonna set you up a Bitcoin, a crypto portfolio.
If I was gifted, if I was gifted a starter kit now, I'd work on it. But most of them,
I don't think that's how things work.
Right? Okay. Well, then I ain't gonna be able to get into it, right? Okay. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty dope. So the other thing I want to discuss with you, Keyan, and I just like discussing this kind of stuff with you, right? Because to me, I know I can't be the only one thinking about this kind of stuff, right? So when I be at work, I'd be listening to everything that everybody say. Like I just be listening to conversations going on, and and then there's this whole situation about value placed on technology. I don't know. It got me thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I was just thinking about it. I'm just like, why? It automatically threw me back to the days when I used to sell PCs. Right? I was to sell PCs, and I'm sitting there showing off the latest. Because the guy will come in and say, this is what I want. I want to move mountains with my PC. I want to be able to decode like the government asteroid bill or whatever. So he wants something super powerful. mind, in my perceived mind, it was the most powerful situation that I got in the store. Oh, he look at the price though. It's $17.99, and this is what they say, and I quote, "Damn, if I'm gonna pay $17.99 for a PC, I might as well buy a Mac." And I heard that so many times. Every time I heard it blew my mind. I don't understand it. Like it makes no sense to me. It's almost like saying 2 + 2 = 5. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. Let me get a quick break. There was a news story recently where somebody was trying to prove that math was racist. Okay. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. But back to the story.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, people want what they want. Yeah. But they're not going to they don't know how much things are worth.
Right.
They don't know how much things cost. Yeah. And so they don't value it as much. They're like, hey, $1,000. I want me the best computer because I got $1,000. And you're just like, that's not going to get you what you want. And I don't know if you really like, you can put more money on it if you really wanted to do it. It's like, nah, I want $1,000.
Right.
And so who knows? I don't know. I the things I value don't come with the price tag. Like I value things and I'll just pay whatever the world I want for it, but it's not going to be the highest end computer.
Right. Okay. So speaking, because there's two things that come to mind. I mean, the first thing, and we'll get to it in a minute, is and I have to answer this. I have to deal with this situation every day too. Whenever I show somebody the Galaxy Z Fold 2, I show it to them. I put it in their hands, and they're completely blown away with it, wild with it, impressed with every single thing about it. Can't say nothing negative about it except for one thing. Lord have mercy, that thing is expensive. Well, I can't see paying $2,000 for a Samsung. No, they don't even say Samsung, for an Android phone, right? That's the one thing, right? The other thing is like Google and Samsung, and I think Dell is in this conversation too. They create these super high-end Chromebooks, right? So, I remember we had discussions about this. Yeah,
bro.
So there's a rep in the store who sells Chromebooks. That's his thing. He sells Chromebooks or whatever. So me and him get into this conversation, and he's like, all like, So I'm like, so who needs a super powerful Chromebook, right? And he's like,
he's $1,000 Chromebook. I think Jeffrey has a Pixelbook.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, bro, you don't even know. Like people get stuff done on these things. Like architects use them, this, that, and the third. And he gave me all these use cases and everything, right? So I was like, okay, well, because I'm thinking of a Chromebook as a toy that you usually give to a kid that all they really need to do is access their email, look at YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I saw it. You know what I mean? Like, but then my thing was, okay, well, that's got to be wrong because if there wasn't a market or a use case for this expensive Chromebook, then it wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be there. And like Best Buy wouldn't purchase it, certainly try to sell it, right? Obviously they got it sitting in their warehouse, so they must be moving them. Somebody buying them. So somebody values it differently than we do.
I know when I worked at Best Buy, I would not sell a Chromebook that was like over $600. I'm not selling you that. You got to get something else. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Jeffrey says he had a Pixelbook at one point, Pixel C and Lenovo Duet now. They don't like Chromebooks. They've been integral to education in the past. Definitely in the past. But see, Christine, like that's the thing. Like I think that part of the value is justified, right? I think I think everybody knows that you can stick a Chromebook in a classroom and it's going to do well. I mean, it's going to do what it does. Yeah. Yeah. But come on, man, are you going to pay $1,100 for that one to send your kindergarten to school? I don't know. That's the thing, right? But my whole thing again, Keyan, and I said the same thing to somebody at work. If it wasn't a market for $1,100-$1,200 Chromebook, they wouldn't exist, bro. I'm just saying they wouldn't.
I feel like the market is smaller than what they advertise. Like OnePlus. OnePlus was a company who made their first phone because of all of the Android nerds. We wanted this, that, and this, and we wanted it to be cheap.
Yes.
And they made the phone. 200 people bought it and we enjoy it. And, we want the second one and the third one. Eventually, though, they're becoming a lot more mainstream because that market is not that big.
Right.
Like you definitely want to make it seem like, oh, everybody wants this, but the market is not that.
Okay.
$1,100 Chromebook market's not big enough for that.
So let me throw this one at you then. So in another situation, I was sitting there looking at the new Xiaomi Mi 11 Pro, right? I was looking at that, and it's got like the spec sheet is like a nerd's dream. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So I'm sitting there, and then then I hear, well, ain't nobody gonna buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like basically just kind of tossed it off because it wasn't Apple or it wasn't Samsung or a recognizable brand that they know about. But so it can't be that good, even though the paper tells me clearly it's better than everything.
Wait, this was here in America, in the U.S.
What the Xiaomi?
This is you're talking about for the U.S.
Yeah, the guy I was talking to, he was standing right beside me. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So, but I'm looking. I was on the Xiaomi's website looking at the phone, and but the person was like dismissing it, like not without even really looking at it, even just because of the name and whatever. Now, clearly the spec sheet outshines anything that we've seen in the last year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like on paper, I didn't hold the phone in my hand and take no pictures in that with it, but let's look at the spec sheet. Nothing that we've handled in the last 18 months came close to it. Nothing.
But I know people definitely value a name over like numbers or performance. Like
yes,
if it's a recognizable name, they'll put way more money or interest or trust into that versus even looking at anything that could be better.
Right.
Like just like with Xiaomi and let's say LG, because LG phones, they're okay. They're not, they're not perfect or anything.
Right.
But I can guarantee you, out of 100 people, 90 people are buying that LG for more money than what the Xiaomi could do, even if the Xiaomi is all around a better phone. Right. I guarantee it.
Yes. But it's just crazy. And then and at first, like I kind of got frustrated with the conversation, right? And then when I got home, I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, well, this is what it is. It ain't like that person I was talking to was wrong. Well, it wasn't only that they were wrong, because they were wrong in that point because they didn't have the proper information. There's nothing to go on. So there's such thing as an opinion, and then there's such thing as like relaying making a statement without having proper justification. Right, two different things. Right, two totally different things. So it wasn't the fact that he was just wrong. It was I had to think that it's all about, number one, your level of education about the product, right? And two, where you personally put the value, right? So, like, for example, you remember that $53,000 Mac Pro? Remember that little R2-D2 looking thing with the wheels on it or whatever? Yeah, right? How many of them things do you think they actually sold? Be honest.
Well, first of all, let me just correct you here. It started at $5, but still, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not made for everybody. It's made for
right. Absolutely. So that was my point about the Chromebook. That's my point about the Galaxy Z Fold, right? I mean, look, I know some people scoff at this stuff, like, Samsung must be crazy. Like, what are they thinking about? You know what I mean? But yet and still, we sell 2 Galaxy Z Folds out of my location per month. Now that's just in one place in the United States. They sell that phone globally. I will say
the same 2 in a month doesn't sound big to me. I don't know how you.
How many $2,000 phones you think that people are buying? How many $2,000 phones you think people are buying?
I mean, first of all, how many $2,000 phones are there?
One.
It can't be that many.
It's just one, right?
Oh, okay. So
if I'm selling 2 of them, and I'm just one person, if I'm selling 2 a month. And in my group, it's 61 SECs in my group. What are they all selling? Maybe I'm not the best salesman.Maybe I'm the worst. Maybe they selling 5 or 10 of them a month. I don't know, right? The point I'm making is the people are buying the phone. They're buying it. No matter what people will say when they pick it up and look at it, because I'm telling you, nobody who's ever picked that phone up has ever been disappointed with it. Nobody.
Oh no, like I said, that would be the Android phone I got if I went back to Android. I told you that.
Right. But you're showing the price tag though, and the conversation changes immediately.
I feel like companies, like I said, they make it seem like this is for more people than it's actually for.
Right. Well,
this is not.
I mean, you kind of not for everyone. You kind of got to do that though, right? You know what I mean? Like you kind of got to
just to get your money, I guess.
Huh?
I said just to get your money back, yeah, or
yeah, right.
Make money off the product.
Because I mean, because I'm looking at it now, right? So I'm just looking at the way things kind of go, right? like me personally, I make the argument for the Chromebook, but would I ever put that much money into a Chromebook? I don't think so. I just wouldn't do it because to me, I don't think the value is there. But I would never say, oh, well, nobody's going to buy that because they make it and they sell it, so somebody's buying it, right? Just like I look at the Galaxy Z Fold and I'm like, damn, it's nice and everything, But I would never say I would never buy one of those. If it was a good trade-in promo, I would get one right now. You know what I'm saying? But I can't cough up to 22, 23. I can't. I can't do that. I ain't in the position to do that. I can't do that. You know what I mean? But is the value there? I think it is. I don't think Samsung. I mean, listen, it might be a little extravagant, right? I mean, what you think it's worth? Honest, if we're being honest, all things equal, when you pick that device up and look at it, and you know what it can do and what it's capable of, what do you think it's worth, dollar-wise? What do you think?
I mean, I would say 16, 17 around there. I'm not giving the extra $5
to
make it 23.
You know what? I think I can agree with you. I think it's worth it. Because look, we sold that S20 Ultra for what, $1,400 last year in the middle of a pandemic? You know what I'm saying, right?
That doesn't fold.
No, it doesn't fold, right? Nah, So and people bought that, right? And so yeah, $2,000 is a little steep. I mean, but I guess they kind of want to, you got to set it and make it, you got to set your own values for it. Like, okay, well, dude, this is the top of the top. This is the best of the best. It might not be the best of the best, but we're gonna treat it like it's the best of the best. Just like Apple with that $53,000 Mac. That was ridiculous.
I mean, sometimes people just throw money at something. Sometimes people think the more money you spend, the better the product's going to be, which, everybody knows that's not necessarily true.
Right.
But some people are just like, hey, I just need something that I know is going to be outshine my friends. Yeah. Here's $1,500. Go ahead and get me whatever. I don't want any change back. Go ahead and make that work.
I don't want no change back.
Hey, man.
Yo, Steve Wright is in the middle. What's going on, Steve? Steve, I am glad you joined. Steve's one of my homies, man. He on Periscope, too. He said, hell, I just bought this S21 Ultra. And the S21 Ultra was a little bit different because they did reduce the price of that one, right? I think it was like $200 less than what the one was last year. I think it was. I think it's around 12, 13 right now versus the 15 or whatever it was for the one before. But it's still expensive though, right? You know what I mean? So it's still expensive. So
Apple is not out here selling $1,400, $1,500 phones.
No, they're not. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. See, like you messing with me, right? Because I want to get into that whole thing too, but I can't do it. But we ain't got enough time. I just said maybe on another episode of Smart Guyz we can talk about how Apple like to jerk people around with the prices. So, and not just the people, the customers. I'm talking about the industry, right? So who made the phone prices go up in the first place, huh? Who made the phone prices go up in the first place?
We don't know if that was Apple.
We don't know for sure.
Without proper research.
How much was iPhone 10? How much was it?
That's a 10, bro.
No, but that's where it started. That's where it started. I'm
gonna have to do some research.
We're gonna talk about it on another show. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Okay. All right. Cool. So, Keyan, that was what I want to talk about. You had something you wanted to add to it?
I thought I did. I don't know. I'm loving the chat right now, but
yeah,
I don't got much.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna have to come hard next week. I'm gonna come extra hard next week.
Yeah, but you know what? For all the guys out there, who jumping on the new second. This is the second GME wave. Is this the second one? Didn't everything get hot again 2 days ago? Right?
It was a quick pump up. It's a quick pump up.
It was a quick pump up. I don't know if so ain't nobody going to the moon this week. Nobody. They ain't happening, right?
I mean, I don't have any stock in GameStop, so right. I'm not. I kind of wish I did. Yeah. I looked at it when it was like $20, and I couldn't get into my stock portfolio to buy any. And the next thing I know, it's $300, and I'm just like, I'm late. I can't do it.
Yeah,
stuff like this. This is the double-edged sword for digital stuff.
Yeah, it is, man. And right now though, like that whole scene is just like I don't know if it's ripe with suckers who are just throwing money at it or. People actually being really smart and educated with it's hard I don't know because I don't know enough about what's going on. I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both. Because, man, there's a lot of money moving around. There's a lot of money moving around, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting back watching it like, why? And it's funny because, again, we on the ass end of a pandemic, right? And you would think with all the money that people say they didn't have or was deprived of, and people were losing their jobs, but then when they was getting the money, the government, they were putting the money into stocks. I mean, I don't know if that's the smart move. I mean, it's like I said, it's another conversation for another day. But people found a way to make it work. I don't know.
I mean, like all the volatile. So it's risky. Taking your money and going to a casino, like, hopefully you're going to come out with 10 times as much money as you came in. Right. But you might come out broke. So it's kind of just, you got to know, if you're one of those people, and I'm definitely one of those people, if you're one of those people, this is a great time for you.
Yeah, if you got the money to play with, right? You know?
Yeah, you definitely got to play with something. But
hey, we got stimmies. Look, Stimmy's on the way, though. It's Stimmy's on the way, and it's income tax season, right?
I got my taxes. I already got my taxes because your boy out here getting money. They signed the stimulus check. Right, it has to go back to the house, revised, but that's an extra $1,400 to put in some Bitcoin. Q.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, if I did something like that, wifey would probably kill me. She'd have my head on the platter. She'd be like, "You did." She was like, "You did what? You
put like $100 in Bitcoin. See what happens."
You bought doggy coin with my money.
Yo, go buy some Dogecoin, please. Let's get into $1. Doge to the moon, everybody. Y'all hear that? Right. Doge to the moon.
I don't think so, man. Steve said desperation makes folks stupid. I don't know, man. I'm just watching it. I'm just telling. Like, you know what? Because I'm reluctant to kind of jump on board just because I see people making money. I don't know, because by the time I say, yeah, I'm ready to do it, I think the wave will be done past. People are like, you know what, dude, you playing the stock market? That's for lames. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was so.
So you got to jump on it quick. You got to jump on it right when the wave is forming.
Right. Anyway, that was a pretty good show tonight, man. I'm glad everybody who came out. I definitely appreciate everybody. Steve, who joined us, that's pretty good, Josh. Christina Johnson. Like, we got Christina Johnson in the building. We saw Fletch come through. Jeffrey came through. So a lot of people came through. If you guys enjoy what we do here on the Smart Guyz Tech Podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to smash that like button and then press subscribe and follow us on all your favorite podcasting platforms. This podcast is available in audio format as well. So usually about 2 hours after we do the live stream here, you can go to iHeartRadio, Apple, what is it called? Apple Podcasts, PocketCasts, Spotify, all your favorite places, Stitcher, Deezer, all that. You can listen to it in this full audio glory. Keyan, that's all I have for this week, man. You want to go ahead and let everybody know what you into this week and what's going on with you and where they can get into it?
Yeah, man. Hey, just like you said, I love the crew, love the chat. I'm always down in the chat, messing with y'all and talking it back and forth with y'all. So keep that going. If you enjoy Q and I personally, Q has like 2, 3 other podcasts on.
Yes. And we'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he has a couple of the podcasts going, so he'll tell you about those. Me and my lady, we're coming up with a podcast soon, and we'll reveal some more information about that. Yeah. You can always contact me at Pink and Black Studios on Instagram. Chaos, as you can see right here. Oh no, wait, right here. Right there, Chaos on Twitter. I'm always available. Come on, come chat me. We can talk about stuff. Kid. What about you?
All right, listen, Smart Guyz Tech Podcast numbers are pretty good. This is our fourth show. Is it the fourth show? Yeah, this is episode number 4, right? Episode number 4. The numbers look good on the audio front. I don't really look at the numbers for the live stream because, of course, I don't have the same value in YouTube like I used to. I just use the live stream as, I know y'all like to see our pretty faces. That's why we do that, right? But I'm more concerned about the audio plays and downloads and stuff like that. But the show's doing well. Bigg Q's World be back in a couple weeks. Next week, though, we will be debuting Shackle, me and the wifey. We're gonna record tomorrow night to really start things off. So, if you guys want to look at listen to a podcast about life and love, 13 years of marriage, man, we've been doing it, and funny stories to talk about. It should be good. I hope people like it. So, that's what we got going on.
I want to tune in. I'm gonna listen. I want to see you and the wifey talk about stuff. Yeah. See what they're about to talk about.
Right. I think it's really good. We got some pretty good topics and things that we want to talk about. So I think it's going to be interesting, but we're going to share it with the world and we'll see what they think. You guys have been amazing as always. We'll catch y'all next week if everything go the way it's supposed to go. Keyan, it's been real.
It's real.
All right, man. I'll take it easy. Peace.